All right. Better fucking work, I swear to God. Just cut out fucking mass amount of viewers for the shit. Son of a bitch. If you don't work, I'm gonna march down to Twitch headquarters and I'm gonna march right up to the COO's office and I'm gonna spit in his left eye. That's what's gonna happen. But here we go, guys. Point Break, hopefully, is back live without any interruptions. Turn down the quality a little bit. Maybe that'll help out. I don't know why. It shouldn't be lagging at all out of nowhere like this, but it is. So we'll try to work with it as the main card continues with some more tag team action. Going to be Ortiz and Scott taking on Brule. And it's certainly been an interesting past month involving these two teams. They kind of had a little bit of a wife swap, really, or just what's the word I'm looking for? A mix-up, if you will, as we saw Dulazaire and Reese Ortiz teaming up, and Adam Scott and Brett Angel pairing up, and they fought in actually a number one contenders match, which was won by Zaire and Ortiz, and they actually received the title shot against Click this past Friday on Genesis. Obviously not victorious. Now the two teams actually going to go head-to-head, and I've been talking about how these two teams really so paralleled since the start of their careers, started right around the same time. Both 6-0, first losses as tag teams in the same night. And now they both looking to climb back up the tag team rank Genesis here at Point Break. As now come Brett Angel and Dulazaire, Brule as they're affectionately known as. And the tweet here, guys, going to come from Dashing Tyson Cage. Says, at Castle Fave, if you still want Swanson out of CMV, give me the same deal you gave Valentine. Only difference would be that I'll have my arm raised. And a tweet now, speaking of, from Valentine, gonna say, of course, Miss LaFave screwed me again by putting me against not only a drug user, but a steroid user, giving me false hope about this match. Obviously, Luke is just a pawn in the Adam Valentine conspiracy, so now the conspiracy gonna continue, even getting worse. This is a tag team matchup that a lot of people have been wanting to see, and they're going to get the opportunity tonight at Point Break. Guys, up next after this, Josh Wolf will finally get what he's wanted. Elijah Stewart in the ring. And then our co-main event, the World Tag Team Champions, Xander Slate and Randy Borton take on the team of Matsuda Tanaka and Dave Turner. And in our main event, the Alpha World Championship on the line inside of the demonic Elimination Chamber. But let's see which of these two teams can outdo the other and take one step closer to a World Tag Team title opportunity. Earlier tonight, Imaginary Friends returned, knocking off Chaos and Order, and now we know it is official that this Friday on Genesis, Imaginary Friends will get their championship rematch against Click, as Reese Ortiz and Dulazaire, interestingly enough, start things off, and Reese immediately with a couple of vertical suplexes, then a botchplex. Once again, Kitty Quinn Bell popping as she watches from home, I'm sure, with big Zeegs, you know. Down on one knee, and Dulazaire with a crack right to the top of Reese's head. Now goes for a suplex, stalled though by Reese, and a punch straight to the gut. Gonna make it hard for Dulazaire to breathe. As now a click, bam, to the temple. Pin him down, and Dulazaire and Reese Ortiz came pretty close on numerous occasions this past Friday to becoming the world champions, and I actually wanted them to, just to see what exactly would come of it. But unfortunately for them, Xander Slate and Randy Borton had other plans in mind, as we get a complete shot by Reese Ortiz, who now goes to the... And a springboard elbow drop, going to connect flush right on the button, if you will. Still getting some lag, and I don't fucking know why. This... Oh, my God, dude. Lion salt by Reese Ortiz to follow up on his offense. Why is this happening? Why? Is this going to start happening again where it just lags every time I try to stream? It's always got to happen on a pay-per-view. Remember, it started fucking Dark Carnival. And now, of course, it's been fine the past 2 weeks. And hey, wait a minute. Pay-per-view? That means my internet has to shit the bed. It's just vintage. And now a tag to Brett Angel, who comes in. The powerhouse with a waist-side slam. Drilling Ortiz right down into the mat. This is ridiculous, dude. And now, okay, Sugar. No, that's not necessary, right? All right, we don't need the marks to add on to the mayhem. Ooh, what a power slam by Ortiz right there. Looks to make a tag to Adam Scott. The smaller, the quicker, more agile between the two. So he stands up against Brett Angel, who probably has a good foot, maybe a foot and a half on him, height-wise. Definitely probably 100 pounds. Out onto the apron, the Outcast with a straight forearm smash, clocks Scott in the side of the head and drops him down to the outside. Brought up to his feet. Gonna use his surroundings as Brett Angel, the 4-time unmatched champion, to deliver the pain to Adam Scott. Pump handle transition into a single knee gut buster. And you work on those ribs, that makes it... And Sugar, hey, that's enough, all right? Oh, boy. If it's not one thing, it's another, you know? You guys hear her? I told her not to bark, so now she's just going to do that little under her breath growl like it's any better. The fight now going to return to the ring as Brett Angel gets off a kick to the midsection. Pump handle set up into another single knee gutbuster, and that midsection most definitely does seem to be the target of the Outcast now. He puts his boot right down onto the gut and presses. Brett Angel's not afraid to mess with the internal organs of Adam Scott. These two guys teamed together just a couple of weeks ago. And a fireman's carry side slam. Angel just so aggressive in his offense. Such just power. Now a tag to Dule Zaire. And we know what Brule's going to go for here. They call this Chocolate Rain. Red Chocolate Rain to be exact. The assisted Meteora Reese Ortiz stopped from entering the ring by referee Perry White right there. Can Ortiz make the save? Yes, he can. Not even a 1 count. Brule working together to dispatch of Ortiz momentarily. That's going to put Adam Scott in a handicap scenario now. Monkey. Oh, Reese pulled out to the apron. All right, I thought he was going to plop to the outside. Seems like he's okay, just trying his best. Oh! No! Well, I bet you any money we're going to hear from Brule about that. Zach, spear Ortiz off the apron, but Perry White fucking chucked him down. Stopped him from doing so. The ever-evolving beef between Free Perry White and Brule. As this is vintage Zaire. The mat slam followed up by the split-legged moonsault. Getting squashed like a bug. As now Scott with an Irish whip tries to shoot it, instead gets a quick belly-to-belly. Looking for refuge, looking for a savior. And a hot tag to Ortiz, not going to find it. Instead, a tag to Brett Angel and a second taste of Red Rain. Adam Scott is looking completely out of it. Can Ortiz make the save again of his partner? Is Perry White going to count? There we go. 1, 2, 3, and Brule are victorious. I guess Ortiz had faith that Scott would be able to kick out, but unfortunately was not able to. A second taste of that red chocolate ring does him in for the Uno, the Dos, and the Trace. Brule victorious here at Point Break. That catapult me what they call Red Chocolate Rain. Sees Brule back together, get themselves a nifty pay-per-view win that will surely benefit them in the rankings. As of course, trying to outdo each other and garnering the support of the CMV universe. But at the end of the day, they are partners, and they are victorious. All right, guys, I know the lag is irritating, but it's not so bad that you can't see what's going on. It's annoying, but I mean, we're in the tertiary main event, so I'm not going to put it off to tomorrow when they'll probably still lag anyway. But here we go, guys. It is time for what a lot of people, but most certainly Josh Wolf, has been waiting for, the chance to get his hands on Elijah Stewart inside of a CMV ring. Ever since Elijah Stewart made quite possibly one of the most controversial in the history of CMV and aligning him with Click, the outpour of negativity from the CMV universe and the superstars in the back, and Josh Wolf. Every time we have seen Elijah Stewart on our screens, we have also gotten a tweet from Josh Wolf simply saying, "Traitor, traitor, traitor." And finally, Wolf returned to Genesis after over 2 months away to confront Stewart, called him out, and the two got into a very heated war of words. An exchange, if you will. Chrissy's there. That old shout out. And Josh Wolf pretty much said what's been on everyone's mind. Elijah, you were the forefront. You were really the heart, the soul of the Resistance. And you turned your back on your friends and your fans. But I've been talking about for weeks now how I don't like what Elijah Stewart did, but I understand where he's coming from, why he felt as though he had to do it. And that's something Elijah Stewart touched on. He said, "Josh, where were you when I was getting beaten up week after week? Click attacking me in the ring, backstage, in my personal time, at the gym, everywhere. Where were you?" Josh Wolf said, "Oh, I was taking the fight to Click over on Fusion. I was making sure they didn't spread any further." Both men feel as though they're in the right. But only one man will leave the ring and Point Break tonight victorious, as the bad blood is overflowing. The Good Vibes Kid, Elijah Stewart, and Josh Wolf, the soul of the Resistance, the sole member of the Resistance, right out of the gate with a sweet-looking neck breaker. That's not an excellent start for Elijah Stewart, who's coming into this matchup off a lot of losses, 2 in a row to the Angelo Prince. What a matchup they put on, though, Prince and Stewart this past Friday night. If you didn't see that, I highly suggest giving it a watch. Whereas Josh Wolf, while in Fusion, has had an unbeaten streak. I believe he's on a 6-match winning streak right now. So that's a whole just load of momentum coming in behind him for this matchup. His return to Genesis. Stewart with a beautiful back elbow as Wolf just whipped right off those ropes into it. All the members of Click in a row here for our final 3 matches. Up next in our co-main event, it will be the World Tag Team Champions Xander Slate and Randy Borton taking on the team of Matsuda Tanaka and Dave Turner. Then in our main event, the Alpha World Championship will be on the line inside of the Elimination Chamber. Elijah pops back up to his feet after getting taken down. Jawbreaker and a forearm smash directly to the face. Gonna put Wolf on his ass. The Vessel of Fenrir surely getting channeled tonight for this big fight field, but a boot to the chest, and Elijah off the second turnbuckle. We know how Stewart feels most comfortable flying through the air. If it's off the top rope, from the springboard to the outside of the ring, it don't matter. Elijah Stewart loves taking risks. Sometimes those risks don't pay off, like right now. Single underhook DDT or a good night driver. Rip in peace, Jamari Williams. Never forget. Face to face they stand as Stewart, the 2-time Alpha World Champion, with a jawbreaker for jawbreaker, tit for tat. See who does it better. 1999, a little bit of a reversal fest ensuing. And this is a straight up fight, but what a forearms just went limp like a wet spaghetti noodle. Oh my God. That might have been one of the hardest hitting forearm smashes I've seen in my days of calling the action here in CMV. Now an elbow drop gonna follow through. Drags Josh Wolf by his feet away from the ropes so that he can't get a break and an elbow drop to the inner thigh. Elijah Stewart currently in the zone, just dissecting Wolf, targeting every exposed limb. Knee to the kidneys, now backs up, and there we go. Springboard cross bot. You guys hear that? The hell was that? Sounds like what the? Please tell me you guys hear that and that wasn't just me. There's not like a ghost in my headset. Oh, Wolf disposing of Stewart like he's taking out the garbage, saying, "Get the hell out of my ring." Boot up under the chin, Stewart. Oh, what? I thought he dropped Elijah into the. Wait a minute, I gotta check the replay on that here on my phone. Yeah, all right, that was. Not too sure what happened there. Yeah, what the hell was that? Elijah Stewart. Oh, complete shot down. Fantastic. That's why I love Elijah Stewart. Again, I don't agree with what he's doing, joining up with Click. But I will never not be a fan of Elijah Stewart when he's in that ring competing. Tries to lock in a modified crossface, but Wolf gonna get an immediate rope break. Yeah, like a modified good vibes. And then another elbow drop. The elbows, the forearm smashes, so dangerous, but slaps his knees for a standing moonsault. The athleticism unparalleled. Puts a boot to Josh Wolf's chest and throws him overhead with that monkey flip. Josh Wolf's return to Genesis is anything but happy, having to fight a man he once called a friend. And the ever-growing war, after day, Click just seemed to be taking over. As Josh Wolf said, spreading like a cancer. Travis King says, spreading like a cure. And there's vintage Wolf with the DDT that puts Elijah in La La Land and now wobbles to his feet, unaware that Wolf is awaiting with the jaws of Fenrir. 1, 2, no, just a 2 count. A millisecond away for Wolf having his hand raised. And it's not just Elijah Stewart doing what he had to do in joining Click. You can tell over these past couple of weeks that his attitude is changing. He's becoming more cocky, more egotistical, meaner. And Elijah Stewart was perhaps next to Tim LaFave the nicest guy in all of CMV, as now Stewart looks to slow things down, and rightfully so, after nearly getting beaten off the jaws of Fenrir. Has a hold of Wolf's arm, but not for long. The damage might have been done, though. Wolf's trying to, basement dropkick to the knee. I got you, Hills. I'll hit you up on Facebook. Yeah, that's what everybody's saying, including Elijah Stewart. Says the resistance is dead, but Wolf says as long as I'm still standing on my 2 feet, the resistance will live on. If it's just, but now Elijah Stewart, a couple of forearm smashes. There's a catchphrase. Josh Wolf stunned momentarily. Elijah knows he has to work quick. Good vibes. Josh gets a face full of canvas as now Stewart backs into the corner and mocks the CMV universe, the Stewies he once called, the legion of fans that were by his side no matter what, but now simply can't. They can't stand idly by and allow Elijah to do what he's doing. Another moonsault might follow up by the Book of Eli, but Josh Wolf knows what's coming. Spins Elijah out, clothesline down, and a second dose of the DDT. You can see that Wolf not having so much power behind that one. As the longer this matchup goes on, the more it's going to benefit Elijah Stewart. You have to imagine, as the quicker, the more agile, has the better cardio. Now busted open is Elijah Stewart, but the blood down his face is licking his lips. That's just going to fuel his anger. All right, Sugar, please chill. Yo, what up, Dynamic? This is the tertiary main event, my friend. Nice of you to drop in. After this, we have got Click, Xander Slate, and Randy Borton, a non-title confrontation between Matsuda Tanaka and Dave Turner. And, of course, our main event still to come, the Elimination Chamber for the Alpha World title. As right now, we might be just a few seconds away from the end of this contest. But no, Elijah Stewart counters. And another shot of good vibes. Right into the pin. Manages to hook the leg, though. 1, 2, 3, and Elijah Stewart puts down Josh Wolf. Like that. Josh Wolf thought he had the end in his sights. Please don't tell me they're going to shake hands. Oh, my God. Well, Josh Wolf respecting the spirit of confrontation, I suppose, as he shakes the hand of a man he once called a friend, even though they're on different sides of this war. Tonight, after an excellent... All right, guys, I was getting a drink of water. I am parched. This has been one hell of a pay-per-view. And, of course, the pinnacle of it is still to come after this. Our Elimination Chamber descends upon the ring once again as the Alpha World Championship will be on the line, the confines of the Devil's Domain. But first, we have got some non-title action as Click's Xander Slate and Randy Borton looking to work off the momentum provided by Elijah Stewart there in the last matchup, knocking off Josh Wolf. And then send it over as he looks become a 3-time record-setting Alpha World Champion. But right now, this matchup stemming from the top of the month. Remember, it was actually 2 months ago when Xander Slate offered Dave Turner and Paul Anderson a spot in Click. And obviously, Anderson and Turner, the Hall of Famers, the megastars, him down. It was the next week Slate and Bort would find Turner by himself. Of course, saying, if you're not with us, Turner, you are against us. Should have joined when I gave you the opportunity. Would be mercilessly just rip apart Turner. And we're mere seconds away from breaking his arm, as they have so many others, when Matsuda Tanaka would come to his rescue, driving off the World Tag Team Champions. Now we're going to see if Tanaka and Turner can ring Tanaka. The CMV World Tag Team Champions closing in on the United Kingdom's record for second longest reigning tag team champions of all time. Currently at 4.5 months. If they can retain, we now know, this Friday on Genesis, they will defend against Imaginary Friends. If they can retain there, they will break that record. Of course, this matchup is not for the titles, as the OG Dirty Heels, Xander Slate, and the Moo Man, Randy Orton, off their defense against the team of duties this past Friday, full of confidence and swagger, are looking to make this a clean sweep for Click at Point Break. Slate and Morton ready to go. And even though they have the edge, the advantage when it comes to chemistry, history with one another, Dave Turner and this man, Matsuda Tanaka, well accomplished as singles competitors. Dave Turner is a great tag team, very accomplished tag team competitor as well. But the question is, will their styles mesh enough to see them victorious here at Point Break? Dragon Slayer, the Ultimate One, Matsuda Tanaka, rises from the shadows to battle of evil and Click here tonight. Matsuda Tanaka as extravagant as if watching previously undiscovered species on another planet or something. Tanaka as unique as they come. Some might say weird, some say strange. None can deny that Tanaka made his impact in such a short time here in CMV, though. Was undefeated up until 2 weeks ago when Paul Anderson handed him his first official loss. Of course, to qualify for the Alpha World Championship Elimination Chamber up next here at Point Break. But live in the past, he looks to the future. It was a couple of weeks ago that Orton beat Matsuda Tanaka via countout on an episode of Genesis. And that was the last Click member that Tanaka had left to claim. He's beaten Xander Slate. He's beaten Bob Luger. Beat Reese. Of course, he was still a part of the gang. But Tanaka now doused in his warrior paint, awaits his partner for the evening. The Hall of Famer, the technical prodigy, 3-time world champion, 2-time tag champion, a plethora of other accolades. But you can see he is taped up, still suffering the effects from Click's attack 3 weeks ago, but here to compete and here to get some payback. It is your co-main event of the 3rd annual Point Break non-title confrontation as Click, Slate, and Orton take on Matsuda Tanaka and Dave Turner. Perry White going to ring that bell, and let's get it on as Slate and Tanaka are going to be the ones to kick things off right into a collar and elbow tie. Advantage, grabbing a hold of his arm, brings it around the back. Tanaka holds 2 victories over Xander Slate in singles competition. Back and forth they go, though, feeling each other out as if they've never come face-to-face before. Fujiwara there momentarily was cinched in. Now back to the collar and elbow tie-up as Slate going to use his power to bully Tanaka up against the ropes. And if there's a clean break, I will be shocked. Yep, there we go. The OG Dirty Heels, the reason he's called that. As he'll take that shot, now going to pay for it. Maybe not. What a reversal by Xander there. Out of that, whoa, just jumping for joy. He was very happy about that, very proud. Kick up to the side of the head, collar and elbow again. Gonna make a return as Tanaka has got Xander's arm in a way that simply should not be twisted. Ripping her out of the goddamn socket, it would seem. The former RJPW television champion gonna get a knee straight to the gut. About one half of the World Tag Team Champions, a former two-time world champion in his own right. Ring full of former world champions besides Matsuda Tanaka. Of course, he was a world champion in RJPW. And I can see him very clearly holding the Alpha World Championship one day. And CMV is right now content with going for a Phoenix Splash, but the risk will not pay off. Xander, the wily veteran, able to see it coming, moves out of the way just the nick of time. Now an Irish whip puts Matsuda in the corner. Perhaps a tag to Borton is on Slate's mind. And here we go, the Milkman now. A little bit of teamwork, double Irish whip. The World Tag Team Champions with a double back body drop. The height that Tanaka got there, a good 10, maybe 8 feet in the air. Hot tag, though, by Tanaka. Borton taking his eye out the ball. Now here comes Dave Turner. Barrels over Borton. Says something about Slate's mama. Now a clone. Irish whip. Borton going for a little bit of a jog. Tries to catch him. Chest pump instead. No, surely, though. Front headlock. Your uppercut so stiff. And a straight right hook now to the jaw, followed by a back suplex. Borton feeling awfully good about himself right now as you see Tanaka trying as quickly as he can to get his head back into the game and recuperate. Ringside stomp down onto the bicep. Now Borton closing in maybe for a go-home driver. Turner knows him too well, though. These two have fought many a time over the years in CMV. Head first off that top turnbuckle, makes the tag to Matsuda Tanaka. Let's see what they can get done together. Vertical suplex combination. You'd think these two have been teaming together for years. Stiff kick to the lower spine. Matsuda Tanaka strikes unmatched in CMV. You do not want to get into a brawl with the Ultimate One. Really, I don't know how you combat the style of Matsuda Tanaka. Guess we'd have to ask Paul Anderson, the only man to have a victory over him, or to pin him. Randy Borton, technically in the books, does have a W against Matsuda Tanaka, but it was by countout. Oh, and a half Nelson single knee backbreaker sent shooting pains up and down that spine. Borton far from finished as he's a thinking man, not going to rush into anything. There's a reason Borton's a former world champion. Modified tosses Tanaka right overhead, grabs him by that orange hair, stares him right in the eyes as now he looks to drill him into the mat with a go-home drive. Goes straight for the pin. One. Just a one count, though. No more than that produced for the Moo Man dropkick. Tries to follow through. Tanaka given too much time, though. And now Tanaka looking to make Borton pay as he ties up the legs. Cross-legged fisherman buster. Makes his way to the corner. If I had to take a guess, I'd say Matsuda is trying for his super kick. Instead, allows the hot tag. Apparently, he wants a piece of Xander, and Xander goes right for a clothesline. Gets caught with a waist lock, but now Xander is the one to just squawk it in that corner. Like a boot down on top of a bug, and there's Xander. Watch the 5 count. Almost disqualified as he's using the ropes for leverage to just choke out Tanaka. And this is the sheer strength of Xander Slate, lifting Tanaka up only to slam him back down to clean slate. Clean slate by Xander, discus clothesline. I'm surprised Tanaka's head didn't go flying up to the cheap seats, and Turner, smart enough to know he had to make the save right there, but now gonna pay for it. Full Nelson slam. Borton just got back up to the apron. Now Turner is sent plopping down to the outside. And this is going to put Tanaka in a handicap situation. And he does not want to be able to. He's been against stiffer odds before. Pop up, double boots under the jaw. Xander going to need to take a trip to the dentist's office. Kick to the midsection. As what the hell could he be set up for here? Pump handle just tossed overhead like it ain't no thing but a chicken wag. And now that knee is a jerkin as Xander gets to his feet, only to be blindsided. Kinshasa into the pin. But I think, we don't have a clear camera shot, but I think that Borton is trying to distract referee Perry White, giving Slate some time. Will it be enough? Yes, it will. Slate out at the count of 2. thanks to the assist there by the Milkman. But Tanaka's not done just yet. Forearm smash, another forearm smash, and a Pele kick. You saw Xander try to put his hand up and block as much as he could, but he still got pretty much. Dave Turner back up to his corner. He's asking for a tag. Whether or not Tanaka will comply remains to be seen. Indeed he will, and here comes the technical prodigy, whose tag team partner Paul Anderson will be inside of the Elimination Chamber up next in our main event with the Alpha World title on the line. But right now, Turner, personal beef, he's got a Slate going after that arm. It's the rib. What a super kick. The ribs and that left arm of Turner's that was targeted by Click 3 weeks ago. Rolling cutter now by Xander, who backs into the corner. Getting some words of inspiration from his tag team partner and good brother, Randy Orton, before he now looks to seal the deal. Slate by Slate is locked in. Will Dave Turner submit? Can Tanaka make the save or can Turner escape? Turner's locked in. The pressure is on. Will Dave tap? Tanaka's not coming in to make the save. Turner's on his own, but Turner will not. He refuses. Not gonna give Slate the satisfaction of saying that he tapped Turner out. Breaks the hold, but he was locked in that for a long time. If he were a smart man, he'd make the tag, and Turner's no dummy. The former general manager of Friday Night Genesis now comes face to face with Slate. Gonna put him up on the top, a place where he does not want to be, but this is vintage Dave Turner. This is a throwback to the OG days of CMV. Turner gonna go for a superplex. Oh, what impact. Dealing some damage to himself in the process. Now with the opening, he's created the window. Is quickly closing. Xander back to his feet, lifts the knee to the chest, now slaps hands with Orton, gonna bring him back in to see if he can perhaps wrap things up. And Orton immediately puts his pedal to the metal. Turner doesn't see it coming. Borto end. After the damage inflicted by the Slate by Slate, this is going to be enough. 1, 2, but Tanaka makes the save of his one-time only partner. Now Tanaka is going to take out Xander with a German suplex, but Xander reverses. A little bit of a hip toss. Meanwhile, in all the confusion, Orton with a springboard elbow. Turner moves out of the way. Complete shot to Tanaka. Mayhem ensuing. Perry White has got to get order here. Orton retakes the driver's seat, gets an elbow to the side of the head. That's going to ring his bell, and now Turner, the Hall of Famer, with the Psycho Driver. Tanaka's down, though. Can Turner make the pin? It's going to be easy for Slate to come in and break it up. You see Dave trying to drag Orton all the way to his corner to make it harder for Slate to do so. Can he steal it? 1, 2. No, nearly does, but Orton able to dig down himself to power out there. No need for help from his tag team partner. Now you see Turner making sure to keep himself awake because there ain't no party. Look at it, come party, because it come party. Don't stop. Turner rallying the support, feeding off the energy of the CM universe here at Point Break. Another one. Another one. Now look at this. This is a picture perfect drop kick. Nobody does one better. Randy Orton getting to hurting for certain. As now he's placed in the corner. And Turner maybe looking to dish out another superplex, but Orton has no plans of taking a fall off the top. Arm drag, pop back up, tit for tat. The end is nigh, you can feel it in the air. But who's going to bring home the W? A high angle dick grab slam. We haven't seen Orton hit one of those in a good while. Turner can't even get to his feet, guys. Struggling, and Orton from the bush like a lion on the kill. Borto end a second time. Will that wrap it up? 1, 2. No, Tanaka just before the 3. A millisecond to spare. Makes the save, but again pays for it with a hellacious spine buster at the hands of the OG Dirty Heel, and Turner's just getting mauled. came out here not at 100%, but he is giving 100% of what he has. It might not be enough, though. Randy Orton and Xander Slate, man, click. There's a very, obvious reason why they have been World Tag Team Champions for 4.5 months. One of the longest reigns of all time. Cross-legged Ian Turner gets busted open. Blood gushes from his forehead, now followed through by a go-home driver. Tanaka is still down. That alone might be enough to do it, but Orton is not satisfied. His ego getting the better of him. As Turner up on one knee, goes for a punch to the top of the head, counter deflected, punch to the gut. Turner does not give up, doesn't know the meaning of the words. Slap to the temple. You slap a person's temples hard enough, you can kill them. Orton's certainly not concerned with such trivial things. Snap elbow drop. Gonna do it again because it worked so well the first time, guys, and Tanaka is still out of it. Here in front of the announce table, by the way, there's going to be no savior this time. Or maybe Tanaka's just getting back up. A third for toe end. Can he get in to keep this match going? 1, 2, 3. The Click will take home the W. Tanaka simply couldn't get his bearings in time to save Turner again. The World Tag Team Champions are going to send some big momentum on the way to Bob Luger. Up next in our main event for the Elimination Chamber. It has been a quick night so far. Will it finish that way? We are going to find out in just a few minutes' time. Got to give all the credit in the world to Dave Turner. Wasn't even at 50%, but he came out here anyhow, ready to put it all on the line. Didn't get his return, though. And too sweet for Slayton Morton, whose dominance continues to run rampant in the Genesis Tag Team Division. This Friday, they defend those titles against Imaginary Friends. Can the historic reign continue? Or will Danielson and Osborne finally be the ones to find a chink in the Click's armor? Sorry about that. Was making sure I am 100% ready to go here for a main event. Just chugged a bottle of water. This commentating thing really dehydrates you, I don't know if you know. But this is truly what we have all been waiting for here at the 3rd annual Point Break. Give me a minute. I accidentally closed Twitch. Got to open it back up before I start things here. Keeps fucking giving me like a rant, like a weird ass menu screen. Hello? Oh, I just got randomly disconnected from my Wi-Fi, too. A lot of things just going wrong right now in the life of poor Dashing. Ah, there we go. Whew. Ah. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. All right, muchachos. Here we are. Any tweets that were posted in like the last 5 minutes, I did not see. So if you repost them, I'll try to read them out in time. As for the second time tonight, the Elimination Chamber has enclosed itself around the ring. It is our main event, and the CMV Alpha World Championship is on the line as we get a tweet here from Reese Matthews, who said, seriously? These guys get a spot and I don't? Oh, well, good luck, Paul. Hashtag Paul for Alpha World Champion. And Luger responds saying, probably because you suck, Reese. Hashtag 3-time. Reese did have 2 opportunities to qualify for this chamber, once against Luger and then in the Battle Royal this past Friday, which of course was won by this man, Rey Furioso, a former Rising Star champion who no doubt is the dark horse of these 6. Been hearing a lot of murmurs these past few days. This is a joke. It's just downright funny that Furioso is a part of this lineup, but I say I ain't gonna be the one to count out Furioso. We do know that he will be locked inside of one of these pods. He will not be starting the match. Yeah, there was already a Fusion Elimination Chamber earlier this season at Requiem. Talked about it earlier, actually. Won by Voice Vin Diaz. Now here comes the WWE Brit coming into this one off a defiant victory over Bob Luger, the main event of the last Genesis. Bloody Brit not at 100% though, as he does enter his second Elimination Chamber. Remember, he was attacked backstage by Bob Luger 2 weeks ago, which led to him competing so poorly against Guri Sukhanov for the title. But Brit, don't matter if he's at 0%, he's still going to show up, kick some ass, and look to become only the second man ever to hold both the Undisputed and Alpha World Championship. Brit has been inside a chamber before. He won the Elimination Chamber he was a part of 2 years ago at Exodus. It has been a click night so far. Elijah Stewart was victorious over Josh Wolf, and we just saw Xander Slate and Randy Borton put down Matsuda Tanaka and Dave Turner. And speaking of perfect timing, because here comes the 2-time Alpha World Champion, and if he is victorious tonight, will make history as the first ever 3-time baby. It is the work ethic titan. It is the cardio maniac. It is Bob Luger, also entering his second Elimination Chamber match. That same Exodus pay-per-view where the Brit won his chamber. Luger competed to crown the inaugural Alpha World Champion. I believe he was in the Final 4, maybe even the Final 3. I know the Final 2 was Tim and Ryan Kent. Obviously, Tim, the first ever champion. I'm sure wherever he may be, he is watching this and hoping and praying that Luger is not the one to walk out with the gold. Luger on Twitter said it has been long enough that he's been without the Alpha World Championship, and tonight he will be reunited with what is his and always has been. Luger says, since day one I put Genesis on my back. I'm the golden boy. I'm the face. Ain't nobody else. Elimination Chamber earlier tonight for the international title. We got a taste of the brutality that it can entail. Of course, Dallas Steel was crowned our new international champion, as Luger enters that pod, and the final man inside will be Hall of Famer Paul Anderson. Has his share of Elimination Chamber experience as well. He competed in CMV's second ever Elimination Chamber. Actually went into the structure defending his world title. Didn't walk out the same. But he is definitely a real wrench thrown in the gears, if you will. Him defeating Matsuda Tanaka 3 weeks ago, I think just threw everyone for a loop. But he's a Hall of Famer and a 3-time world champion. Just for that fact. And now, over 2 years since his last reign as a world champion, Paul Anderson will enter the pod. Remember, there are 3-minute intervals between the time that these guys will enter the match. Two will start. We now know it will be Guri Sukhanov and Markintel who start this match. Is Guri defending his championship inside of the Devil's Domain here. His 3+ month reign with the title started way back when after Exodus, where he defeated Elijah Stewart, and since then nobody has really stood a chance when lined up face to face with the Russian Ogre. Ralph is very excited because here he comes. The 6'8", 400-pound bear of a man. We are living in the Soviet era, and I do not count this man out for a second. Obviously, less than a 25% chance for him to retain the title, but he still has to be pinned or submitted to be eliminated. I just don't see that happening, even with all the talent in that ring. Luger and Britt. Former champions, and of course, Paul Anderson, a Hall of Famer, Ray Furioso. Untested, the biggest opportunity of his career. Guri Sukhanov enters his second Elimination Chamber. Competed last year at Purgatory, actually, for the right to challenge for the Alpha World title at Ascendance. We now know that Guri will be starting this match, which means that he will have to run the gauntlet as he shows the title off to all 4 men who are enclosed inside their respective pods. And Guri Sukhanov will start things off against this man of the 7 deadly sins, the true Dark Lord, and CMV veteran Markintel. And how poetic that these two things kick the matchup off, because they have a long history with each other. Markintel, ominously shrouded in darkness, makes his way out from the back. And there he stands. Can Markintel, after years of service to CMV under its banner, finally win the big one? He enters his 3rd Elimination Chamber match here tonight. He competed in that same chamber that the Brit won back at Exodus, and last year's at Purgatory 2 along with Guri. The only man that I have chamber experience here is Ray Furioso, the untested rookie. But again, I'm not counting him out still. And now the doors of the Elimination Chamber will be locked shut. These 6 men set to wage war. All for the CMV Alpha World Championship, and Markintel coming stacked in the war paint tonight. And a tweet here, guys, from Lance Martini says, "A laughing stock to everyone bar one. That one is myself. We will see what's funny come Friday." Obviously speaking to Dallas Steel, the new international champion, crowned as such in our first Elimination Chamber match at the top of the main card, guys. But here we go. Referee Perry White has rung the bell, and I kind of feel bad for Perry being stuck between these two behemoths, as they go right after each other. No warming up, and what a spine buster We saw how quick an elimination chamber can come about earlier tonight. Look how Lance Martini eliminated both Zach Cage and D'Angelo Prince within a minute of each other before the fourth man had even entered. 3-minute intervals. That first elimination chamber, Brent King was the one to enter last, but even still, he did not walk out victorious. It was Dallas Steele who entered fourth, I do believe. So that sixth spot does not guarantee you anything. It's definitely an advantage. You definitely want it to help you out, but does not guarantee you the win as Markinsale looks to show off his big muscles, trying to powerbomb on the 400-pounder, but Guri gonna save himself. And now that's some, goes for a military press. These two just not allowing each other to hit anything. They know each other too well. Like I said, a long-standing history between these two men, if you can call them that. More monsters. Modified backbreaker by the former Anarchy champion, who now gets off a kick to the underside of Guri's thigh there. Well, it is Markinsale and the Alpha World Champion Guri Suckanov start things off in a pinfall already here after that big splash. Locked inside the pods are Hall of Famer Paul Anderson, Ray Furioso, Bob Luger, and Chris Andrews. Markinsale, guys, I gotta say right now, is all over Guri Suckanov like peanut butter on jelly. This is, I say that, though, Suckanov gonna turn the tides in his favor. When Guri Suckanov first won that title, I made a statement that I still stand by. I don't see anybody taking that title off of this bear of a man. I see him being champion for a very long time. In fact, he's closing in on Bob Luger's record for longest reigning Alpha World Champion of all time. Bob Luger held the title for 3.5 months. Guri Suckanov, I do believe, is at 3 months and 1 week. So if he retains here by wild card, which will be the next time he defends the title, he will break Luger's record. But in order to do that, he has got to run the gauntlet, starting first here in the chamber. If anybody can do it, it is Suckanov, who gets a powerbomb countered by Markinsale. And here we go, guys. The first man is about to be released from the pod in 3 seconds. Who will it be to join the fight? It is going to be Bob Luger. The work ethic Titans number is up. If victorious tonight, he will make history, not only defend his record of longest reigning Alpha World Champion, but also make history, becoming the first ever 3-time Alpha World Champion. As the Markinsale finally gets that powerbomb off on Guri and then takes out Luger with a modified backbreaker. Markinsale goes up to the second turnbuckle. You do not see a man his size frequently flying through the air, but there he goes. European uppercut, and Guri now got to blindside him. Kick to the midsection. The Alpha World Champion now with an uppercut and a big old throat thrust. Gonna chop him down to size as Luger just gets tossed in the corner like a child. He is not having a great start to his chamber experience as Markinsale, that big meaty claw of his wrapped around Guri's throat. And Luger decides it's a great time to taunt. Too sweet. Not so much. Markinsale gonna make him pay for his ego. Luger don't back down from a fight though. I'll give him that much. Punch right to the side of the head. Takes the back, attempted, moves out of the way, comes over behind. Guri Suckanov trying to get in on the fun times. Oh man, what a release time. Luger has not hit a single move since entering the chamber. It's almost like Guri Suckanov and Markinsale playing a game of anything you can do, I can do better, using Luger as a prop. Guri Suckanov is so big, he just took out Bob Luger and Markinsale with that body splash. Watch out, referee Perry White. There's the bump. And Guri just fucking whipping Luger clean across the ring. That's just the show of how powerful Suckanov is. Luger, man. What is going on with him? To a straight right hook. Attempted by the Alpha World Champion, which usually is a prelude to that powerbomb of his. And I think Markinsale actually tried for his powerbomb. Guri Suckanov steps over the sternum, and there's Luger lying in wait, only to be Irish whipped into the corner. It looks like Guri Suckanov's not really concerned with Luger right now as he steps over Markinsale again. Luger going to make sure that Guri is concerned with him. These two have gone one-on-one before, about last month. Actually ended via a double countout, and Luger's words, he said, if I'm going to beat you, Guri, it's going to be for the championship. Well, here we are at Point Break in the main event, Elimination Chamber for the title. That is 400 pounds that Marcantel is deadlifting right now for these gut wrench suplexes, guys. And with 5 seconds, who will be the next superstar to be released from a pod? Paul Anderson, Ray Furioso, and the Bloody Brick Chris Andrews await. It is Ray Furioso, the dark horse, who won a second chance over the top rope battle royal this past Friday night to qualify for this match. Going to prove all the doubters wrong as Luger missed that elbow drop. Marcantel moved Guri out of the way just in time. Irish whip sends Guri right into the corner, immediately targeted by the CMV veteran and the brutal and gnarly Marcantel. A sit-out choke bomb. Furioso is the only man of these six of the lineup to have any sort of real agility and athleticism about him. Coming from a luchador background, of course, competed for years in Japan as he's just tossed aside like a child. Meanwhile, Bob Luger shows off those 18-inch pythons, brother. Looking to make tonight one to remember for Click. Elijah Stewart, Xander Slay, and Randy Borton all victorious tonight leading up to this. Can Luger utilize their momentum to come out on top as he has Furioso in trouble with a powerbomb to the outside? Oh my God! Meanwhile, Guri sucking up, look to the ring, tries for that sit-out powerbomb into a crucifix, changing it up a bit, but Marcantel drops down, slips free, goes for that full bull hammer, but Guri's quick to see it coming out that time. The Alpha World Champion, like a sack of stones, falls to the canvas. 1, 2, no! I thought for a split second, my mind made me think just perhaps, just maybe, Guri sucking up will be eliminated. You see Marcantel trying to keep the pressure on. Hell's Gates now applied, but Guri ain't gonna be the one to tap. Look at that fucking strength lifting Marcantel up. Marcantel's 300 plus pounds also, let's not forget. Double chop down onto the chest, and now Guri neck first goes Marcantel into that top turnbuckle as Ray Furioso returns from his escapades with Luger on the outside. Sunset flip powerbomb to the Alpha World Champion, looks to steal the elimination, but it will not be enough. Now Luger closes in on the Lucha Legend scoop slam. Ray drops down behind, guys. The ring is filling up. Earlier tonight in the International title Elimination Chamber, we didn't see 4 men in the ring at the same time. Lance Martini had eliminated Zach Cage and D'Angelo Prince before Dallas Steele had even entered. We might get a full lineup. Just about a minute away from the next guy entering as Luger looks to score that first elimination. Coney Island Cyclone into the pin. Will that do it for Ray Furioso? 1, 2. No, it will not. Meanwhile, who will be the next to enter and who will be coming in last? Chris Andrews and Paul Anderson. Paul Anderson enters 5th. That means that the Bloody Brit, the winner of his last Elimination Chamber, will get the advantage of entering last as the Elimination Chamber is filling up. It's getting a bit crowded. Paul Anderson, one of the biggest upsets of the season, perhaps of all time in CMV, defeating Matsuda Tanaka, handing Tanaka his first official loss to qualify for the Chamber. Now, nearly 2 years since his last reign as a world champion. Luger thrown into the pot over there, by the way. Just slumped up against it as Marcantel compresses, just squeezing on Guri Sukhanov's temples to the point where he passes out. Elbow drop, not fully connected there by the Hall of Famer, a 3-time world champion. Sends Ray into the corner, goes for a knee up to the chest. Ray Furioso catches it though, elbow to the knee, now catches the kick in a clothesline. Meanwhile, Bob Luger face first into that bulletproof glass. Luger just got well acquainted as Guri, sitting like it's reading time or something, Getting back up to his feet, pendulum backbreaker by Anderson in the ring to Rey Furioso as Luger's thrown back in. Someone got busted open, by the way. I don't know who. I think someone's busted open. Is it Luger, maybe? I'd probably assume it is Luger. After getting his face fucking smashed into that pod, guys. Chris Andrews is the last man to enter. It looks like we're going to actually have all 6 guys in at the same time. Rey Furioso, we can't see it obviously under that mask, as Bob Luger would love to be the one to eliminate Guri Sukhanov, the current reigning Alpha World Champion. Earlier tonight in the International Title Elimination Chamber, Lance Martini was eliminated early on by Dallas Steele. Only a 2 count. I talked about earlier how Lance Martini at least would have to be pinned or submitted to lose his title, much like unlike a triple threat or a fatal 4-way where someone can just steal a victory without him being involved in the decision. Anderson just got a wake-up call on the outside. Mercantile with a very smart strategy, something I would employ if I were ever in this situation. Any sort of multi-man matchup is letting your opponents just beat the hell out of each other, and then when you see an opening to capitalize on it. Bloody Britt just seconds away from entering the fray. Coming in number 6, nice and fresh. I guess that's good that Andrews is getting the 6th spot since he's not at 100%. You know, fair enough. Oh, that inadvertent teamwork by Luger and Guri kicking the straight right hook. And Mercantile is the first man eliminated just before Chris Andrews enters last. The 7 deadly sins. Mercantile is eliminated after impromptu team up by Bob Luger and Guri Sukhanov. And here comes the Bloody Britt, immediately targeted by Rey Furioso as Paul Anderson, Vintage Anderson, takes out Guri Sukhanov with a spinebuster. Oh my God. 1, 2, 3. Guri's eliminated. Holy shit. Guri Sukhanov has been eliminated. Anderson with the clutch. We are guaranteed a new Alpha World Champion. The Russian Ogre's reign is over. New champion will be crowned. Which of these 4 will it be? Anderson just stays with the upset, stays shocking people. Guri Sukhanov is eliminated after the spine buster by Paul Anderson. I guess I was wrong. Bob Luger's probably like, whew. Guri Sukhanov was about to close in on beating his record for longest Alpha World Championship reign. Now Luger just has to win the whole thing. Make history again by becoming a 3-time Alpha World Champion. Oh! Super kick out of nowhere by Anderson! 1, 2, no, Luger! Well, I don't know what Furioso exactly just tried to do right there. I think he tried to moonsault to the outside onto the Britt, but didn't exactly go the way he wanted it to. Oh, Luger's jaw's got to be hurting. But he was able to survive that super kick. And in the final 4, Luger with a swinging neckbreaker, using the top rope to leverage Anderson there. Now into a lateral press. 1, just a 1 count. Meanwhile, Rey Furioso and Chris Andrews, certainly 2 completely different characters, and Britt goes face first into the Lexaplan, and now spine first again. Rey Furioso knowing how to use the environment here. The only one of the 6 that didn't have chamber experience, but boy is he going hard in the paint right now as Luger with an electric chair dropped into a German suplex. Lexiglass, whatever it's called, I don't know. Lexaplan. Yeah, that's the name of it in CMV, all right. Britt entered last. He got that advantage of coming in fresh, but remember, he also is not 100% heading into this matchup, period. And right now, he's actually getting whooped by Rey Furioso as we are guaranteed a new Alpha World Champion. Guri Sukhanov has been eliminated after a vintage spinebuster at the hands of Paul Anderson. Mercantile was the first eliminated, as meanwhile, guys, Anderson, scoop slam, elbow drop. That's how he defeated Matsuda Tanaka, goes for the pin. Oh my God, 1, 2, 3, Luger's eliminated! Bob Luger is eliminated! The final 3. Luger is sent back into the showers. Anderson with another huge elimination. Luger's championship aspirations once again dashed, as it is down to Rey Furioso, Paul Anderson, and Chris Andrews. That's our final 3. One of these guys will be the new Alpha World Champion. Oh, what a kitchen sink. by Anderson, who now rakes the eyes of Chris Andrews. A punch right to the back of the head. Paul Anderson, Toper's out of his seat right now. Or I should say, Gumble, I meant to say. Oh, super kick! Anderson looking to make it 3, baby! 3 eliminations for the Hall of Famer. 1, 2, 3. No, ooh, really? Ray Furioso with the resiliency game shown. And a tweet from Joshua, of course, comes up saying, at least the night didn't end in a big disappointment. Of course, talking about Luger being eliminated. Paul Anderson, after fucking 2 years, might be closing in on another world championship reign. Just got busted open right there, and there's that strength, that unmatched aggression, piss and vinegar by the Brit. A little bit of a march before dropping into the vertical suplex as Ray Furioso goes up to the top. What is Furioso cooking up in the kitchen? Waiting for the Brit to get done with Anderson here. Gut wrench suplex. Then, didn't look like he got all of that, though. Got some of it, but not all of it. Might have hurt himself more than he did Anderson. Ray Furioso and the Bloody Brit have seemed to form a little bit of an alliance. Oh, Anderson, what a reversal out of the corner. Lateral press, tries to steal an elimination. Will it be enough? No. We have got the dark horse, Ray Furioso, the veteran, the Hall of Famer, Paul Anderson, and the Bloody Brit, Chris Andrews, who could become only the second man ever, besides Ryan Kent, to say he held the Undisputed title and the Alpha World Championship. Brit came in last. He's the freshest of the lot. Anderson's been in there. He came in number 5. Ray Furioso came in 3rd. Or 4th, rather, technically. And Furioso gonna go after Chris Andrews' arm right here. That usually is a setup to the Tilt-A-Whirl Fujiwara armbar of his that nearly ended the career. Brett Angel only a 2 count, as Anderson was hoping that alone would be enough. Jawbreaker, distance created. Here comes Anderson from the blind side with a hammer punch. Britt says, back the fuck up, bitch. Revenge! See ya. Good night, Anderson. What a showing. Is Britt gonna pin him? There he goes. Some time wasted. Maybe it'll be enough for Anderson to utilize the kick out here. No, Anderson is eliminated, but what a showing by the Hall of Famer. Eliminated both Gary Suckonoff and Bob Luger. But this is the final 2. The untested rookie, Ray Furioso, the biggest moment in his career, could shock the world, while the Bloody Brit, Chris Andrews, is going hard. One of these 2 men is leaving the Elimination Chamber as the new Alpha World Champion. Can Furioso silence the doubters and the haters? Irish whip into the corner, and Furioso's got something on his mind that I assure you is not going to end pretty for Chris Andrews. Lucha DDT. Good heavens, into the pin, a desperation pin. Ray Furioso hoping, praying, will it be enough? But it's just a 2 count. Rebounds. Furioso currently has the upper hand. Misses that elbow, though. That's going to create the opening for the Brit to pounce on. Kick to the midsection. Now up over the shoulders. Power slam set up. Maybe a snake, guys. Remember, Ray Furioso is busted open under that mask of his. We don't know how badly he's bleeding. Could be really bad. Yeah, if Ray Furioso is victorious here, guys, he'll be the... Oh, my God! No, Brit to the top of the pod! Brit taking the leap of faith! Holy shit! From the top of the pod, Bloody Brit just squashed Ray Furioso. Both men motionless, but the Brit to the pin. Will it be enough? 1, 2, 3. Chris Andrews is your new Alpha World Champion. Caution to the wind. The Brit flew high, and the Bloody Brit is a world champion once again, baby. There's going to be drinking in San Antonio tonight. Mamma mia. Chris Andrews is the new Alpha World Champion, baby. From the top of the pod, Brit flew through the air. Wow. Chris Andrews against the odds adds yet another championship to his already impressive Hall of Fame worthy resume. Can barely stand. What a risk taker. That elimination chamber was 100%. 10 stars. And what a finish. Just imagine if Ray moved out of the way a little bit, he probably would be standing there as the new Alpha World Champion. But Brick took the risk, and it paid off big time, baby. Chris Andrews is the new Alpha World Champion. What an amazing pay-per-view. I wasn't really paying attention to the chat too much, but was there any lag? When I did look over, I didn't see any. So it looks like my internet connection blessed us enough to get a lag-free main event. There was a little bit of lag during these 3 matches. Sorry about that, but you can see them well enough. But I think Chris Andrews is now tied with Justin Sane, with each 2 wins apiece for most chamber wins. I don't think anybody else. No, I don't think it's just Justin Sane and Chris Andrews. So we gotta put Britt in another chamber soon, you know. Try to break that record. But guys, thank you for joining me as always. An excellent show, and that chamber was beautiful. The reign of Gary Sokolov comes to an end, and now it is the bloody era we travel into. You know, Gary's going to want to be coming back for that championship, but the Brit is set to defend his title 3 weeks from tonight at Wildcard against, it could be anybody on the roster, guys. Wildcard, every title on Genesis is going to be on the line against completely randomly generated challenger. All the names on Genesis, every superstar, rookies, legends, you name it, will be put into a randomizer, and you know, someone's life could be changed. So that's the Brits' next defense. And of course, we are just 4 weeks away from the 6th annual Royal Rumble at the 3rd annual Absolution. 30 men, Fusion and Genesis compete for the right to head to Homecoming, the last pay-per-view of the year, headline it, and a championship opportunity of their choosing. But congrats to Chris Andrews, no doubt. Xander Slate and Randy Borton picking up some slack for Click, defeating Tanaka and Turner, as did Elijah Stewart, and putting down Josh Wolf Brule with a definitive win over Ortiz and Scott. Luke Swanson keeps his spot on the Genesis roster, putting down Adam Valentine. We got Imaginary Friends returning with a win over Chaos and Order. And now we know this Friday, the next Genesis, they will challenge Click for the World Tag Team titles. And in the opening Elimination Chamber, Dallas Steele did become the new international champion. Not to mention that fucking beautiful mwah. If you did not see it, that Iron Man tables match on the pre-show between Reign and RGP was too good. Check that out, most definitely, guys. But as always, if you're new to the show, you want to get alert, exclamation point join right there. We'll give you a link to our website, CMV Wrestling, exclamation piece. Official CMV _ is our Twitter. If you want to follow us for match cards, announcements, all that kind of good stuff, you are more than welcome. And all the past episodes are on my YouTube channel, which is linked on my Twitch info page. So thank you guys so much. Great pay-per-view. Besides a little bit of the lag. What are you going to do? Hopefully it goes away before tomorrow. But love you, and I will catch you on the flip side.